Cathedrals are not only some of the most striking architectural wonders of religious history, but also of global history. They are architectural masterpieces that tell the stories of cultures, eras, and the very essence of human aspiration. In this video, we will discover 10 most impressive cathedrals in the world. Our journey begins in the heart of France, in the ancient city of Chartres. Here, rising above the rolling countryside, stands a masterpiece of Gothic architecture, a testament to the spiritual aspirations of medieval Europe. The history of Chartres Cathedral dates back to the early Christian era, but the structure we see today was primarily built in the 12th and 13th centuries. The cathedral is renowned for its architectural innovations that helped define the Gothic style. One of the most striking features is its extensive use of flying buttresses, which allowed for higher walls and larger windows. The cathedral's facade is adorned with 3 grand portals, each filled with intricate sculptures depicting biblical scenes. The western facade, also known as the Royal Portal, is particularly famous for its detailed carvings of Old Testament kings and queens, which serve as a reminder of the connection between the church and the monarchy. Inside, the cathedral is equally impressive. The high vaulted ceilings, supported by elegant columns, create a sense of awe and reverence. One of the most remarkable aspects of Chartres Cathedral is its collection of stained glass windows. There are over 170 windows, making it one of the largest and best preserved collections of medieval stained glass in the world. We travel now across the Atlantic to the bustling metropolis of New York City. Here, amidst the towering skyscrapers and relentless energy of Manhattan, stands a different kind of cathedral, a testament to the enduring appeal of Gothic architecture in the modern age. The history of St. Patrick's Cathedral is closely tied to the growth of New York City and its Catholic population. Construction of the cathedral began in 1858 and was officially opened and dedicated on May 25, 1879. St. Patrick's Cathedral is a masterpiece of Gothic Revival architecture, characterized by its pointed arches, ribbed vaults, and flying buttresses. The cathedral's exterior is constructed from white marble, giving it a striking appearance against the backdrop of Manhattan's modern skyscrapers. The twin spires, which rise to a height of 330 feet or 100 meters, are among the cathedral's most distinctive features. These spires, completed in 1888, were the tallest structures in New York City at the time. Inside, the cathedral's grandeur continues. The nave is flanked by 14 side chapels, each dedicated to different saints or events in the life of Christ. The vaulted ceiling, supported by slender columns, creates a sense of height and space, while the large stained glass windows fill the interior with colored light, adding to the spiritual atmosphere. Whether admired for its Gothic Revival splendor or revered as a sacred space, St. Patrick's Cathedral remains a beloved and enduring icon of New York City. From the heart of Tuscany, a monument to human ingenuity pierces the sky. This is the Cattedrale di Santa Maria del Fiore, more affectionately known as the Duomo, a beacon of the Italian Renaissance. Unlike the soaring heights of the Gothic cathedrals of France, the Duomo embraces a sense of classical harmony, a return to the architectural ideals of ancient Rome. The construction of the cathedral began on September 8, 1296, and continued 140 years until it was finished in 1436. The cathedral's exterior is clad in polychrome marble in shades of green, pink, and white, creating a striking visual effect that has become one of Florence's most recognizable features. The most iconic feature of the cathedral is, of course, the dome. Measuring 150 feet or 45.5 meters in diameter and 375 feet or 114.5 meters in height, the dome was the largest in the world at the time of its completion and remains the largest brick dome ever constructed. Inside, the cathedral is equally impressive. The interior, though relatively austere compared to the exterior, is vast and awe-inspiring, with a floor plan that resembles a Latin cross. The most notable feature inside the dome is the fresco of the Last Judgment. This enormous work of art covers the entire interior of the dome and depicts scenes of heaven and hell, with vivid detail and dramatic intensity. The Cattedrale di Santa Maria del Fiore is more than just a magnificent building. It is a symbol of Florence's artistic and architectural achievements during the Renaissance. Nestled in the historic city of Canterbury, England, stands a monument of grandeur and devotion, Canterbury Cathedral. The origins of Canterbury Cathedral date back to 597, and it is the first cathedral in England. The original cathedral was rebuilt and expanded several times over the centuries. The cathedral is an architectural masterpiece that reflects the evolution of Gothic architecture in England. The building is a mix of Romanesque and Gothic styles, with each phase of construction adding new elements to its design. The western end of the cathedral, including the nave and the west towers, is primarily Romanesque in style, with its rounded arches and massive stone walls. The central tower, known as the Bell Harry Tower, was completed in the late 15th century and is a fine example of perpendicular Gothic architecture, characterized by its vertical lines and intricate stonework. The eastern end of the cathedral, including the choir, the Trinity Chapel and the Corona Chapel, is where the Gothic style is most evident. One of the most remarkable features of Canterbury Cathedral is its collection of medieval stained glass windows. These windows, some of which date back to the 12th century, are among the finest examples of medieval glasswork in Europe. From its ancient origins to its role as the centre of Anglicanism, the cathedral has been at the heart of English history for nearly 1,500 years. Reims Cathedral, known as Notre Dame de Reims, is one of the most important Gothic cathedrals in France and a symbol of the nation's history. The cathedral was consecrated in 1275, although construction continued for several more decades. It was the site of the coronation of nearly every French king from the 13th century until the French Revolution. The most famous coronation was that of Charles VII in 1429, which was attended by Joan of Arc, who had played a key role in his ascension to the throne. Reims Cathedral is a masterpiece of high Gothic architecture, characterized by its verticality, lightness, and the intricate detailing of its facades. The west facade, in particular, is renowned for its elaborate sculptures and is considered one of the greatest achievements of Gothic art. The smiling angel statue on the west facade is one of the most famous sculptures in Gothic art. The statue's serene and joyful expression has captivated visitors for centuries, and it became a symbol of hope during the difficult years of World War I. The interior of the cathedral is equally impressive, with soaring vaults and a vast nave that draws the eye upward to the heavens. The cathedral's height is accentuated by its slender columns and pointed arches, which create a sense of lightness and grace. The choir, where the coronation ceremonies took place, is surrounded by magnificent stained glass windows that flood the space with colour. Reims Cathedral is not just a building, it is a monument to the history, culture and spiritual life of France. St. Stephen's Cathedral is located in the very centre of Vienna, and all distances in the city are measured from its front door. It's often referred to as the soul of the city, due to its central role in Vienna's history and culture. The origins of the cathedral date back to the 12th century, when Vienna was a modest medieval town. St. Stephen's Cathedral is a stunning example of Gothic architecture, characterized by its soaring spires, intricate stone carvings and expansive interior. The cathedral's design reflects the architectural evolution from Romanesque to Gothic, with elements from both styles visible in different parts of the building. The most striking feature of the cathedral is its south tower, which dominates the Vienna skyline. Completed in 1433, it reaches a height of 446 feet or 136 meters, and was the tallest building in Vienna for many centuries. Inside the cathedral, the Gothic influence is evident in the ribbed vaults, pointed arches and tall stained glass windows that fill the space with coloured light. The high altar, completed in 1647 in the Baroque style, is another highlight of the cathedral's interior. It features a dramatic depiction of the stoning of St. Stephen, surrounded by marble statues and gilded details. The great composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart had a close connection to St. Stephen's. He was married in the cathedral, 2 of his children were baptized there, and his funeral took place within its walls. The Duomo di Milano, or Milan Cathedral, is one of the most magnificent and iconic churches in the world. As the 5th largest in the world, the Duomo stands as a testament to Milan's artistic, cultural and religious significance. The Duomo took nearly 6 centuries to complete, with construction beginning in 1386 and officially ending in 1965. It is a masterpiece of Gothic architecture, characterized by its pointed arches, ribbed vaults, flying buttresses, and an extraordinary number of spires and statues. The cathedral is often described as a forest of spires, with over 135 spires adorning its roof. Each spire is topped with a statue, and together they create a breathtaking silhouette against the Milanese sky. The interior of the Duomo is equally awe-inspiring. The vast nave, lined with 52 massive pillars representing the weeks of the year, can accommodate up to 40,000 worshippers. The high altar, situated beneath a magnificent baldachin, is a focal point of the interior, and behind it is the choir, with intricately carved wooden stalls that date back to the 16th century. The rooftop is adorned with hundreds of statues, including the cathedral's most famous statue, the Madonnina. This gilded bronze statue of the Virgin Mary, standing atop the highest spire at 354 feet or 108 meters, has become a symbol of Milan. The Duomo has played host to several significant historical events, including the coronation of Napoleon Bonaparte as King of Italy in 1805. To commemorate this event, Napoleon ordered the completion of the cathedral's facade. As one of the tallest cathedrals in the world and the most visited landmark in Germany, Cologne Cathedral stands as a testament to Gothic architecture and the rich history of the region. The construction of Cologne Cathedral took over 600 years, with work beginning in 1248 and finally being completed in 1880. Cologne Cathedral is a masterpiece of Gothic architecture, characterized by its soaring vertical lines, pointed arches, ribbed vaults and flying buttresses. One of the most striking aspects of the cathedral is its facade, dominated by the twin spires. These spires are not only architectural marvels, but also engineering feats, given the challenges of building such tall structures in the 19th century. The facade is adorned with statues of saints, apostles, and other religious figures, as well as intricate carvings and tracery that add to the overall sense of grandeur. The interior of Cologne Cathedral is equally impressive, with a vast nave that stretches 472 feet or 144 meters in length and 141 feet or 43 meters in height. The nave is supported by massive columns and features stunning stained glass windows that date from different periods, including medieval, 19th century, and modern designs. One of the most important features of the cathedral's interior is the Shrine of the Three Kings, a gilded reliquary that is said to contain the remains of the three wise men. This elaborate shrine, created by the medieval goldsmith Nicholas of Verdun, is one of the largest reliquaries in the world and a masterpiece of medieval metalwork. Cologne Cathedral was heavily damaged during World War II particularly during the bombing raids that devastated much of Cologne. However, despite being hit by 14 bombs, the cathedral miraculously remained standing. Located in Moscow's Red Square, St. Basil's Cathedral is one of the most recognizable and iconic landmarks in Russia and the world. The cathedral was built between 1555 and 1561 to commemorate Ivan the Terrible's victory over the Kazan Khanate, marking the expansion of the Russian state and the spread of Orthodox Christianity. St. Basil's Cathedral is a striking example of Russian architecture, blending elements of Byzantine, Russian Orthodox, and even Asian influences into a unique and harmonious structure. The cathedral is most famous for its 9 brightly colored onion-shaped domes, each crowned with a gilded cross. These domes are arranged around a central nave and symbolize the flames of a bonfire rising toward the sky. Inside the cathedral, visitors will find a maze of narrow corridors, steep staircases, and small chapels, each adorned with frescoes, icons, and intricate woodwork. One of the most interesting aspects of the cathedral's design is its asymmetry. Unlike many other churches and cathedrals, St. Basil's does not have a single unified facade. Instead, each side of the cathedral presents a different view, with unique domes and decorations. Today, St. Basil's Cathedral functions primarily as a museum. It was secularized in 1929 following the Bolshevik Revolution and now belongs to the state. However, it still hosts occasional religious services, especially on the feast day of the Intercession. Technically not a cathedral, La Sagrada Familia is one of the most extraordinary buildings in the world, architectural masterpiece and a symbol of Barcelona. The construction of this massive basilica, designed by the visionary architect Antoni Gaudi, began in 1882 and is still continuous to this day. La Sagrada Familia is a marvel of architecture and engineering, blending Gothic and Art Nouveau forms with Gaudi's visionary style. The basilica's design is characterized by its use of hyperboloids, paraboloids, and other complex geometric shapes, which are not only aesthetically striking but also structurally efficient. The Nativity facade, the first to be completed, is the most directly influenced by Gaudi and reflects his love for natural forms and religious symbolism. It is adorned with intricate carvings of animals, plants, and scenes from the birth and early life of Christ. In contrast, the Passion facade, which was completed much later, presents a stark and dramatic depiction of the suffering and death of Christ. Its angular, stripped-down style was intended to convey the harshness of Christ's sacrifice. Inside the basilica, Gaudi's vision continues to unfold. The nave is supported by a forest of columns that branch out like trees, creating a canopy of stone that mimics a natural forest. The play of light inside the basilica is another remarkable feature, with stained glass windows bathing the interior in a kaleidoscope of colors. La Sagrada Familia is famously unfinished, even after more than 140 years of construction. The basilica is expected to be completed by 2026, coinciding with the centenary of Gaudi's death, although delays may push this date further. We've only scratched the surface of the world's most beautiful cathedrals. Now we'd love to hear from you. What are some of your favorite cathedrals? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more awe-inspiring content. Thank you for joining us.